Hello guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. If you haven't liked or subscribed, kindly hit the like button and the subscribe button. In our previous video, we talked about an introduction to hematology, and we discussed the various components that we have in blood and their respective functions as well. Today we'll be talking about vacutainers as used in the clinical laboratory setting or in hematological setting. Each of the blood components, being it RBCs or WBCs or platelets or even certain analytes that are found in the serum or plasma, must be preserved or stored or taken in a way that it will not destroy their integrity. As a result, all these blood components may have, or all these blood compositions may have certain tubes that they have to be placed in based on their function or the role they play, and also based on their preservation as well. So in the clinical laboratory setting, we have vacutainers or tubes. Examples are the EDTA tubes, we have the serum separator tubes, we have the lithium heparin tubes, we have the oxalate tubes, we also have the citrate tubes, and then we have plain tubes. We may also have other tubes such as the ACD, the CPD, which are not commonly used in the laboratory setting. We also have SPS and ACD. Alright. So let's begin with EDTA tubes. So EDTA is an abbreviation which simply means ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So it's a compound, and what it does is that it's a chelating agent which chelates calcium so that the clotting factors are preserved. Calcium is an essential element that stimulates the coagulation process. Therefore, if EDTA chelates or binds to calcium or take out calcium from the coagulation process, the other cascade factors are preserved. Therefore, there is no coagulation or there is no clotting. Alright. So the EDTA is mostly found in two forms. We have the powdered dipotassium form or the liquid tripotassium form. Okay. So normally EDTA is designated with the lavender color or the purple top color. So if you have ever seen any tube with the purple top or the lavender top, it signifies or denotes the EDTA tube. Alright, so EDTA tube is mostly used in hematological routine tests like complete blood count tests. We can have blood grouping too as well. We can use EDTA anticoagulated blood for sickling tests, for HB, electrophoresis tests, etc. So basically, when we talk about routine hematological tests, we are dealing with EDTA. Now, serum separator tube or SST is mostly used for clinical chemistry tests. So when we talk about clinical chemistry tests, we might want to use the serum. So the serum does the best job than the plasma. Okay, so serum contains fibrinogen, and then the plasma does not contain the fibrinogen. So most of the serum components, or most of the blood plasma, let's say blood plasma components, are much preserved in serum form. Let me use it that way. So with the serum, they are the tubes that do not contain some anticoagulants. The liquid portion of the blood in tubes that do not contain anticoagulants, and they often lack fibrinogen. And then for the plasma, they have fibrinogen in them. So that is the main difference between the serum and then the plasma. Okay. So for the serum separator tubes, or for the chemistry tubes, they are used for clinical laboratory tests, clinical chemistry tests like LFT. We have blood urea nitrogen. We also have creatinine too as well, or we can have KFT, that is kidney function test. Okay. We can also have lipid profile, lipid profile, lipid profile. We can also have tests like thyroid function test. We can have tests like the hormonal tests like LH, FSH, etc. So for chemistry test. Alright. So what is done to this tube is that when we spin the serum separator tubes, anytime we spin the serum separator tubes, we end up getting something like this. So normally the gel is underneath. The gel is underneath. Then we have the whole blood over here. The gel is underneath them, have whole blood. So after centrifugation, when this one is spun in a centrifuge, what is seen is that the red blood cells settles here. Then you see your gel in the middle, and then your fine serum. So here becomes your serum, here becomes your gel, and this becomes the last part, becomes your RBCs. So in chemistry, this is what is important: serum. So we have the lithium heparin tubes. The lithium heparin tube is mostly designated with a green stopper, and it also does the clotting prevention by inhibiting thrombin. Thrombin too is an essential component in the coagulation process, thereby inhibiting, or the inhibition of thrombin therefore prevent blood from clotting. It is mostly used for arterial blood gases. So this particular tube is mostly used in the clinical laboratory setting for arterial blood gases. So for the arterial blood gases, we have the partial pressure of CO2, we have hydrogen carbonate, then we also have the pH as well. So these components, or these markers, are mostly found in the plasma, and it is in this tube that does the best preservation of these markers. Okay, so heparinized plasma is much preferred to EDTA, since EDTA tubes might falsely elevate potassium. So as we've already discussed, EDTA tube contains potassium.